Whew, all right, everybody. Whew, had to get my workout in there. I saw Creed last night. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Was listening to Gonna Fly Now, the theme from Rocky, one of the greatest theme songs of all time. I am pumped to talk about this movie. I'm excited. I want to get in the character to kind of get ready for this review for you guys. So, without further ado, let's ring that bell. And with that, I welcome you to another episode of The Real Mentor. My goal is always to enhance your movie watching experience because that's what a good mentor does. Let's get on with the Creed review. So Creed is the 7th movie in this Rocky franchise, if you will. There were some questions as whether this was some kind of sequel. Is this a reboot? And it's honestly a little bit of both. I just consider it another story in the Rocky universe, so to speak. And off the bat, let me just say that I really enjoyed this movie much more than I thought going into it. I did like the trailers, but it really surprised me about how good and how well made this movie actually is. Now, I like this movie so much, it's so easily be in my top 10 movies of the year. There's no question about that. This movie is that enjoyable. So Michael B. Jordan plays the illegitimate son of the one and only, the Count of Monte Fisto, the king of Sting, the master of disaster himself, Apollo Creed, who, of course, in part 4, walked in confidently to James Brown's Living in America and then proceeded to get the living shit beat out of him, literally, by the Drago himself, and he passes away. So Adonis never met his father. He's got that large chip on his shoulder, and he's really trying to get out of the shadow of his father's name. He wants to forge his own entity, his own destiny, so to speak. Now, Adonis is a self-taught boxer. He's about 15-0 in the ring, but he's mainly fighting underground small fights in Mexico. He obviously feels it has a lot of potential and he wants to maximize that. So he flies out to Philadelphia to seek out the help of the one and only, of course, Rocky himself, who is at a point in his life. If you saw Rocky Balboa, the last of the Rocky movies, very underrated film. He got all that out of his system, got his last fight, he's in a better place in his life and doesn't really want to get involved in it, but eventually, of course, they form a strong bond. He ends up training him to be the next champion. Now, I really enjoy the dynamic between Adonis and Rocky himself. It starts off kind of rocky and eventually they warm up, they become friends, and end up being almost like a father-son relationship. It really carries the movie. Rocky is such a likable character, and I give credit to Sylvester Stallone. This is the 7th time he plays this role, and he does it justice. He doesn't mail it in. He's not just collecting a paycheck. He's not Bruce Willis in Die Hards. He actually cares about the character, and it really shows in the movie. He's so likable here. You can't help but like him. He's almost like the everyday guy you root for. Even now, he's not even a fighter, but you just can't help. You love what he says. He's inspirational, and you love the dynamic he has with Adonis' character as they grow together. And again, that's such a strong bond that they form. Now, although yes, Rocky is in it substantially in the movie, there are a lot of odes to the Rockies of the past. Those who are Rocky fans are really going to enjoy some of the things that they show you. And it doesn't really beat you over the head with it. They're very subtle for the most part. But make no mistake, this movie is not a Rocky movie. This movie is about Creed. This is Creed's movie. This is his franchise moving forward. Rocky's obviously has a big influence on him, but you enjoy the journey. And Michael B. Jordan is sensational. He's an excellent actor. He's up and coming. You're going to hear his name a lot for the next 20, 30 years, hopefully. He really knocks it out of the park. Now, another good thing about the movie is the love interest played by Tessa Thompson, who we've seen in Selma recently. Him and Creed's character really have a good bond, good relationship, and it's done organically. You really buy it. It's not force-fed. You believe it, which really adds to the movie itself. And let me not forget the fight scenes. Ryan Coogler, this is the 2nd movie. Coincidentally enough, his first one starred Michael B. Jordan in Fruitvale Station. I heard a lot of good things about that movie, but his direction is really strong in his film, particularly the fight scenes. He gets up and close without, no jagged cameras, no quick cuts. You actually get to see the action, feel the action, and he even uses a one-shot motion on this first fight as he takes everything does the whole fight in one take. It's excellently done. Something similar to how Birdman was filmed and some of the fight scenes in the Raid 1 and 2, which you guys definitely must see. And he really has another great scene with Michael B. Jordan on the main fight, of course, walking out of the locker room, down the hallway and into the main ring. Very well shot, and it adds a lot of the drama to the fight, which of course is, you want to see some good boxing. Technically, yes, it's not sound, but you really feel some of the punches. It gets up and close, great sound effects, really well done and really well directed on his end. And what I really enjoyed about it was the ending itself. It was very satisfying. When it went against the grain for what most people would think the movie like that would end like. which I really enjoyed. It added a lot of credibility to the ending. Get it? Credibility? Sorry. But again, a very satisfying ending. I'm really glad they took that direction. I was concerned they want to go more of a typical route, particularly with sports movies. So I was really happy to see that. It ends on a very positive and high note. You know, I hope this franchise continues. I really enjoyed it and looking forward to the next Creeds, if there is any more, and I hope there is. So if you are a Rocky fan, I highly recommend you watch this movie. If you're not a Rocky fan, this is actually I still recommend you go watch it. It's a really good, strong film. So I hope you guys really enjoy Creed. If you do watch it, as always, you can follow me at Twitter at The Real Mentor. And of course, don't forget to subscribe below. Keep feeding my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. I'll see you guys next time.